Saggies, what is up? I hope y'all are doing well. My name is Christina. Welcome to Vivid Vibration Tarot. If this video resonates with you, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. All of your support is very helpful and much appreciated. So, Saggies, OMG, the apocalypse and the shadow, the fault line and the tear, the sword, the healer, Anima Mundi, and the mountain. Wait, they. Saggies, y'all must be coming on, like, up on an end, at the end of an end. I don't know. I mean, the apocalypse is the idea of a massive ending, right? But it's not just like, it's like everything. It's like everything all at once, where you're just like, you're standing there and you're looking around and you're like, is there anything even left from all of this? You know, with the fault line here, I mean, it's just kind of this idea of like, whatever it is that you're dealing with was a long time coming. It was one of those ideas where it's like one thing after another thing, after another thing, after another thing, and you can brush it off and you can brush it off and you can brush it off, but ultimately it's gonna catch up with you. And I feel like that's kind of what's happened, Saggies, that there's this idea of like, oh, that's not a big deal, that's not a big deal, that's not a big deal, and you just want to brush it off, brush it off, brush it off, and the next thing you know, you fell through the hole and everything else did too. And I want to say just like an initial reaction of feeling really sad and wondering, what did I do to deserve this? You know, like there's this, and I don't hate that mentality, but I don't love that mentality, because it's like, yes, we need to ask ourselves, like, what was my involvement in all of this, right? Like the shadow side isn't there to ignore, it's there to incorporate, you know, because people like the idea of like good or bad, but the reality of it is, you know, like somebody who doesn't have any money and needs to eat, like they're feeding them, they might have to steal food to eat, but they're doing it because they need to. But if they lived in this world where it's like, that's wrong and you should never do that, then you know what I mean. But it's like sometimes we have to tap in on our shadow side, right? Like sometimes we have to get shit done that we wouldn't be able to do if we weren't willing to, you know, acknowledge the fact that we have the means and the ability to do things that we otherwise might not normally do. And I feel like there's an idea here of you really having to like explore your shadow side. And I want to say like feeling shame, and wondering, you know, like, where is my value in all of this? But cutting away with things that are keeping you bound to your shadow, so that you can open yourself up to your value, because Anima Mundi is in all things, be all things, right? Like everything is interconnected and everything happens with a reason. And I feel like there's an idea of like, when you explore your shadow, when you cut out with these, cut away with whatever it is that's occurring, whether it's community, your job, your friends, your whatever, you know, but you're really, I think, also being given the opportunity to find your value and bring healing to yourself through integration, which is fantastic. Okay, Saggies, what is good with y'all? Queen of Wands. Okay. Sorry. I have a friend. Just exciting when you go someplace where you don't know anybody. Okay. Oof. The Eight of Pentacles, the Devil, the Ten of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. You know, the Devil is the idea of manipulation. Eight of Pentacles, again, the idea of manipulation. You know, Saggies, I kind of want to say, so here's the thing with manipulation that I've noticed. This is a very general statement, so do with it what you will. But I've noticed that people who tend to be manipulative also tend to surround themselves with people who are manipulative, right? Because if you're the type of person who wants to manipulate the things around you, then you need people who are going to be forgiving of that behavior. They're going to let you slide because they're going to have a turn where you're going to have to let them slide, right? And it just kind of feels like this, like, I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine, I'll play you and let you play me type of energy, which is like super gross. But I think an energy that you found yourself caught in. And Saggies, I know that, in the past, like this past winter even, it was just kind of this idea of like feeling like you were in a community that was, or if you were struggling with mental health, you were surrounded with people who are struggling with mental health, and just kind of feeling like this is not where I belong, but also kind of having to acknowledge the fact that, like you surround yourself with people who do things that you yourself do, right? And that plays itself out on so many levels and so many layers. And I don't think that we always really are cognizant of that. But I feel like there's this call to step into a more sincere form of community, something that's going to embody the opportunity to, like stand in your power, to stand in your value, to integrate your shadow, so that you're not just surrounded in this environment where, do unto others as they do unto you is kind of the mentality. And it's like, okay, well, if you are gossipy and you are, like you just want to be around people who are going to gossip, or you are, like you want to be in control, so you're going to surround yourself with people who allow you to control them, but then in turn they expect, it's like that energy exchange, like, well, I'll let you control me in this area, but then I'm going to control you in that area. And it's like, that's an exchange you're willing to make, you know what I mean? Especially if it's an exchange that's done in terms of like a negative energy. And I feel like there's this call to really heal the types of energy exchanges that you're engaging in, because everything is an exchange, not just financial. I wish the world understood that more. Okay. Two of Swords. That's come out for all of my fire signs. There's just like some decisions to be made, that feel like pretty cut and dry decisions. The Five of Cups really does lend itself to that idea of just like never really knowing where the turbulence is going to come from, right? Like if you've got drama coming at you from every angle, you never know where that next point of drama or contention is going to come from. And so it's this idea of really having to make a decision to do away with this, I just want to say like drama, this manipulation, this, like this energy exchange that is just seeped in negativity. And following your intuition, because the Hierophant and the Empress, the Empress is the idea of like the harvest card. Like you have everything that you need. You have the knowledge and the skills. You have the experience, or not the Moon, the High Priestess, to really know which direction you need to go. The High Priestess is the idea of like intuitive psychic knowing. And I feel like Saggies, you know which way you need to go. You know where your pitfalls are. And it's like you can keep riding down it's like keep riding down that road with all those potholes, complaining about how you're hitting all the potholes, or you can choose a new path where people take care of their potholes. Think about that in terms of like what addictions or I don't know. I think about a friend of mine, and like he just exists in this realm of triggers, but he does it because he knows how to thrive in that environment, you know? And I feel like you guys are kind of in that energy of like, well, I know how to thrive in this environment, but it's like, are you thriving though? You know, and I feel like you know that you're not thriving, but also you've attained quite a bit of experience and understanding of this like negative energy that's allowing you to really bring healing to it, you know, which is like, thank God, because I want to say you have so much to offer. You have so much to knowledge to pull from. Death, the Four of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. Yeah, I kind of want to say that like on the heels of this transformation, right? I mean, death is the idea of transformation. And I feel like when you release this habit, this community, this whatever that has really come to an end anyways, right? I mean, it's crumbled down around you. You can't take that road anymore. It's just not going to happen. But it's going to require you, I want to say, to just actively release it. Where are we at here? Actively releasing the end in order to really bring healing to yourself and come into an opportunity of community, possibly love. But it's just one of those things where sometimes you just have to say enough is enough and let it go, and really let it go. I have the image of Linus. Linus, the Charlie Brown character that always has his blanket with him everywhere. I feel like that's what that community is to you, or that job, or that relationship, or whatever. It feels like the dirty security blanket that you're just dragging around with you everywhere. It's like, just let it go, you know. The Warrior, the Maiden, and the One. It's hard. It's hard to let things go. I mean, the Warrior is the idea of like, mind your battles. What are you fighting and why? And I kind of want to say, like, don't fight your new beginning. Don't fight your opportunity. Don't cling to potholes to avoid paved roads because it's the familiar path, because you know what to expect. Like, great, you know to expect a bunch of drama and bullshit. Great, you know to expect manipulation. Great, you know to expect people telling you what to do. Great, you know what I mean? But like, it leaves you feeling triggered. It leaves you fighting battles you don't need to fight. And you have the opportunity to really explore, you know, with like a fullness of curiosity. I mean, what is a Sag if not like the essence of curiosity, right? And I feel like you have the opportunity to engage in that, you know, essence of curiosity and really go toward, you know, an opportunity that's for you. Again, quite possibly in a love relationship. The One is the idea of like, what, like the ultimate, like the one person you want to be with, the one place you want to live, the one community that you imagined having, you know. But it's just this idea of, you have this opportunity to bring healing to your, I want to say, your triggers. I want to say you have the opportunity for smooth sailing and actively engaging in your curiosity and exploring things that you weren't able to explore because you were too busy just dealing with all of the shit constantly from every direction because it was comfortable for you. Okay, Saggies, I hope this resonates with y'all. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.